is Logan Morris, and today we're going to talk about pumpkins. Specifically, we're going to determine how to find the amount of seeds in each pumpkin. But first, before starting any experiment, you need to go over the safety rules. First, for this experiment, you need to have an adult present because you'll be using sharp objects. Next, you need to remember to wear goggles and safety gloves when carving out the pumpkins. And finally, for any science experiment, you need to remember to never eat or drink in the science lab. First, we need 3 pumpkins of 3 different sizes: large, medium, and small. Then, we need string, scissors, a ruler, a marker, a calculator, carving tools, your safety equipment, and a table to record your data. For the first part of this experiment, we're going to find the circumference of each pumpkin. This will help us determine the diameter. The circumference of a pumpkin is the measure around its center. We're going to use the string to help us determine this. We're going to do this by wrapping it around the center of the pumpkin and measuring it. First, we're going to start with the large pumpkin. We're going to take the string, place it around the center of the pumpkin, and then we're going to find where it meets, and then we're going to take the scissors and we're going to cut exactly where it is around the pumpkin. So then we have the string that is equal to the circumference of our pumpkin, our large pumpkin. Now we're going to measure it with a ruler, and we're going to use inches. And we're just going to take it and measure it and keep measuring it. So that's 1 foot or 12 inches. There's 2 feet. And then keep measuring this little bit, which brings our total to 3 feet 8.5 inches, or 44.5 inches for the circumference of our large pumpkin. Now we're going to record this on our table so we can keep track of our measurements. So for this measurement, we have the circumference of the large pumpkin, which equals 44.5 inches. We can use the same procedure to measure the circumferences of the medium and the small pumpkin, which I have already measured to be 30 inches for the medium pumpkin and 18 inches for the small pumpkin. Now that we have found the circumference of each pumpkin, we will use this to determine the diameter. To find the diameter, you must take the circumference and divide it by pi. We will do this by using our calculators. Now to find the diameter of the large pumpkin, we take the circumference, 44.5 inches, and we divide it by pi, which equals 14.2 inches. Using the same procedure, we can find the diameters of the small and medium pumpkins, which I have found to be 9.5 inches for the medium pumpkin and 5.7 inches for the small pumpkin. The next step in determining how many seeds each pumpkin has is counting the lines on the outside of each pumpkin. For each line on the outside of the pumpkin, there is a row of seeds on the inside of the pumpkin. So now we'll count the lines on the large pumpkin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 lines on the large pumpkin. The total number of lines on each pumpkin is as follows: 33 lines for the large pumpkin, 35 lines for the small pumpkin, and 27 lines for the medium pumpkin. By examining our data, I have predicted that the large pumpkin will have the most seeds because it has the largest diameter, the largest circumference, and the second largest number of lines. Now that we have collected almost all the data for our pumpkins, the last thing we need to do is to count the number of seeds in each pumpkin. Now it is time to carve our pumpkins, but before we do this, we must put on our safety equipment. First, we will carve the large pumpkin. We need to take our carving tool and carve a circle around the top of the pumpkin around the stem. Using the same procedure, we have carved the tops off the small and medium pumpkins. Now that we have the top off the pumpkin, we're going to start pulling out seeds. We will keep doing this until we have all of the seeds out of the pumpkin. Once we have removed all the seeds from each pumpkin, we can begin counting them. After counting the seeds, we have found the small pumpkin to have 635 seeds, the medium pumpkin to have 547 seeds, and the large pumpkin to have 649 seeds. So in conclusion, our experiment has helped us find many different ways to predict how many seeds a pumpkin will have.